Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to make a seafood restaurant at Sanctuary. Let's get building! So welcome back to Sanctuary. This was a build I done quite a while ago, pretty close to the build that I did on the river, if you remember that one. And for some reason it's just sat in the archives. And I didn't post it, so I thought it was about time we put it up on the channel, and so I can just clear a little bit of the backlog of builds that I have. And so we'll just do a little bit of cleaning up here. So we're putting it right on the edge of the boundary, right on the river here. And initially my thoughts were to put a little bait shop in. That was my original thought for this, and then it kind of morphs into something completely different. So the first part of this is just to get the overall foundation right. I really didn't have any idea how I was going to build this here, and these foundations, getting these right does take a little bit of time to get absolutely spot on. So one of the things that I developed is to do this is just to put the ladder in first, get that in the right position first of all, put the ladder in, and then we'll put that over there for a sec. Just get this foundation in, it will clip onto that ladder, and now you've got your heights right, which is very important for what happens with this build. Now you'll see what happens in a little while to the idea that you start with, or at least I started with, and what it actually becomes, because it, as I said, it becomes something different, but that's okay. That happens when you're building. So I had to cut down a lot of footage here, so I've just sped it up a little bit. Just get the foundation right, and then we'll start building beyond that. So I had some issues with, I had some big issues here with getting this lined up against the boundary, but I eventually solved that. I've cut it all out because I don't think there was any benefit from you seeing that. So he's dug me off in the distance, having a bit of a swim. So I put these, as you know, I use these prefab shacks just as a guide a lot of the time. And I do the same here, just to put the walls in. And it does so happen in Vanilla Extensions here, they do have these walls here that you can use. Now I get rid of that. One of the mistakes I make here is these walls are quite tall, and they all start to clip into each other, but they're actually taller than that suggests, and it takes me a fair while in the build before I figure that out, but we do figure it out. So just be careful you don't get caught with that. See how that's taller there? So it's alright, all you have to do is just pull these walls up to the same height, so that's okay. See, they're all taller. Now I pull them down here, and then I realise I can't get through the door and go, yeah, something's not right here. There you go, see? A door for a midget. Anyway, we do figure it out. Sometimes that happens when you're building. You get so immersed in what you're doing that you miss the obvious stuff. But anyway, all good. So here we're going to now start to think, what can I do with this? And it was perfectly obvious that I put an upper level in, so that's what we do next. I'm going to muck around. Where I put the stairs the first time, of course, was the place the stairs end up going. So you've got to have a little bit of separation there. And then we'll just put some railings in. These railings are great, it just helps the overall look of what we're trying to do here. So they're just tremendous. The only things that I would say is, if the mod author is watching for G2M, and I know he's a friend of the channel, we just need those half rails. Sometimes we see there, we just need the half rail. I think I end up using the one from the concrete tab in the end to fill in that gap. So okay, so I've fixed the walls now, and I'll look at this and I say, instead of a bait shop, I could actually make this into like a little bit of a boat house. So that's what we do. And so put that, the foundations, it was important just to get the foundations down for the heights, and you can see I'll now rip these out and put floors in all the way around. But you know, there's a process here where you have to have those foundations in to start with, and then you can adjust it from there. There we go, just put that in there. Okay, so we need a single piece in there. Now I do change these floors slightly a little bit later on, but I don't show you that. Again, I don't see there is a huge amount of value in showing something that's, you know, is a personal preference. You can put whatever floors you like in here. Get rid of those, and then we use the walls that are kind of barn door walls in here, just to make the gap, just so it's just not open. Just makes the gap a little bit more defined here. And there we go. So we just put those in there. You can put doors on. You could put a double door on there if you want. I just leave it open because I'm going to put something above this anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So, taking shape. Now, of course, this thing's floating in mid-air, so I'll have to come up with a solution for that. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is put the boat in, and then we'll work on the supports beyond that. Isn't too hard to get the supports in here. So we'll find the boat. No, we don't fish in there. We need to take that rock out though. If you've seen my previous builds, the one on the river, you will know that these rocks do cause some issues. So I don't like to take things like that out all the time, but where it's necessary. So we'll take that out, put the boat in, and I think we end up getting the wrong boat to start with. Now what? See, that's kind of, it's got planks across it. And I realised that very quickly and going, oh, it's the wrong boat. We have to put the other one in. One of the easiest ways I've found is sink it down like this, find its spot, yep, like that, and then grab it and just pull it up and position it. That's the easiest way I've found of positioning these boats, and then put the tiller in and we should be good. So I'm making good progress. One thing I did find when I built the other area on the river is what you got to be very careful of here. I'm sped up putting the posts in because it's putting the posts in. It's not real exciting. But yeah, one thing to be very careful with when you're building, we put a whole lot of scrap in the river behind me at the moment from where we are, and it caused me major frame rate drops issues. And so just be warned, if you are building on the river, try not to put anything into the river. You know, I was trying to mimic what they had, you know, with scrap being in the river. Big mistake. The frame rate drop was just incredible, and I figured out it was an animation where the river was kind of lapping against the item in the river. Now I've changed here. I spent a lot of time trying to find the right materials to use for the upper level. Now for some reason the upper level is a little bit off center compared to that walkway, and I really didn't figure out why. But I went to the barn tab, and I think it's USO has these skins that they've put on to the walls in the barn tab. It takes me a while to find them, but they're certainly worth using because it helps the overall look here. Because I just wanted to switch and define here we go, these walls here. I just wanted to define the upper level a little bit more as something completely different to the boat shed below, but at the same time trying to get it to work in and look, you know, as though it all should be here, all has been here, and it's just been abandoned. So that's really the look I was going for. So I start with these full walls, and then I realised that maybe I should just customise it. So I end up going with my favourite half wall trick. There we go. And as you know, the barn tab and the warehouse tab work together very well. So I end up using that to my advantage here. Now I put this all the way around, but I do change this. I do pull those ones out to the left, and I do my mandatory run away and have a look and see what it looks like and run back again. which I seem to do. So I seem to do in every video, but I like the look of that. It's a nice little bit of contrast upstairs. And now we'll go to the warehouse and we'll add some warehouse tab, and we'll add some other elements to this. So we'll add these windows in, these half windows here. Yep, there we go, up in there. It suddenly occurs to me, you know what? It would be nice to have a view going across there. Now, I'm not sure if I'll leave those windows in or not, or whether I put the long ones in. Usually I would put long windows in there. But yeah, if you have the vanilla game, you don't have too many mods, you can actually do this with the right DLCs. So we'll put windows all the way along here. There we go. So it just makes it a bit breezy, light and breezy, and just overall look is a little bit different. So we'll just finish off the walls here, get the roof on, and you know, we're in the home stretch pretty much. Pretty simple kind of build really. It's but I think more the idea, I wanted to do something, I just had this idea that I wanted to have this multi-level kind of area on the river, and that was really where the idea started from. So I'm pretty pleased with the way it ends up actually. It's gets stuck on the tree. So I don't mind that look at all. So I've brightened this up a little bit because it's starting to get dark, just so I know sometimes when you render these they can be a little bit darker than what I actually see. So I've rendered it a bit lighter. So sorry if some of the colours are a little bit off. And now in the warehouse tab I'm going to use these metal posts, and they fit perfectly in here with the overall look that we're going for. There we go. So we want a bit the middle size ones. And I think when you are building on the river, you know, a combination of steel, kind of metal, steel and wood is really good. It really does work very well for this kind of nautical coastal look. And we probably need one more post at the far end. And I do actually like the look of these supports. They are very simple, but they do just help to sell this very well. Just get the spacing right. Probably need one at the other end just to make it sure it looks supported. And we should be good. Yeah, just in that corner there. There we go. So not much to do now. Railings and just decoration pretty much. And we should be pretty much done. And as I said, it's funny, I was talking about this on stream on the weekend, and a lot of people like to scrap everything and then add items back in. I'm the opposite. I prefer just to leave as much as possible in the settlement, and you know, only scrap when it's absolutely necessary. Okay, doing well. I think we're pretty close to the end here. There is that gap there. I do just put a board down there so we can get across there. Like I said, the way that we built it, I'm not sure why that's off. It shouldn't be, but obviously somewhere and this is the thing when you're building, it only takes one foundation piece to be off a fraction and it can throw everything else at. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's fine. I don't think you really notice it in the final build. So this is an earlier version of Snappy House Kits than what I've currently got, and so I hadn't used it at this point. I hadn't used Snappy House Kits a heck of a lot, so I'm just looking for something to finish the front of this restaurant off, and I end up going with one of these awnings. They're good for just and for some reason they do clip into these warehouse barn tab pieces. So yeah, the struggle is real. You might figure out in a minute that that's too long. Make sure you don't put these too low though, because if you place these too low, they won't. You won't be able to get in actually, because they'll be too low. You bump your head on them. So maybe I'm starting to figure it out now. You need a smaller one. We'll just sit and watch this because yeah. Okay, there we go. That's the one we want. We just need to push it across a little bit and push it up. There we go. That just finishes off the overall look. That's still too low. So I've cut out the next 2 minutes of me just mucking around with that, that awning. Anyway, we got there. We ended up getting there. As you can see, it's now in the perfect spot. And we just need to do a little bit more decoration and we should be pretty much done. So just a case of putting some rails and whatnot in here. Pretty standard stuff. And I don't think we're going to bore you too much with it. We might just cut straight to the tour now. So here we go. Here's the finished item. And a nice sunny sanctuary. And you can see it turned out really well. Once you're able to dress it up, and we got our mandatory lanterns in there, as you can see. There's a bit of a vendor's cart up on the boardwalk here. Nothing for sale yet. Obviously the delivery hasn't come through, but it does, it does have that feel where it has been here for a while and then it's been something, it's just run into disrepair, and that really was the look I was going for. So a little area here in the boat shed just outside where you can dry your fish and do some sorting. I put the generator down here and just to power the whole area, and just add little bits and pieces, nets and signs and everything, and it really does just help to sell the overall look of the restaurant. Some outdoor seating, and it is a nice little spot just to relax and have a meal. Let's go in, and you just see there's lots and lots of little details like this ship here, the Meyerlair on the wall and whatnot. So hope you've enjoyed this little build. It was a great little build. I really did enjoy building this. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get it up. Thanks for supporting the channel, and we'll catch you next time.